Good evening, and good evening. Happy New Year. Happy new transition. Happy new life. How's
Yes.
everybody doing? This is your boy, DA, your neighborhood friendly, your friendly neighborhood Libra. Sometimes my skills be off, but y'all know. You know how I be. I am here with lovely, my lovely, my lovely co-host Sheronda Barksdale. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Peace and blessings, everyone. As he said, I am the Sheronda L. Barksdale, your life empowerment coach over Authentically Your Expressions, where I'm helping you live your most authentic life. And I'm doing well. We made it. We
Yep.
made it in 2026.
Yep.
Still a little
Two
shaky
six,
there.
2-6, and we still got our mind,
Yes.
and we kicking it. Yep. Yep. So how was your holidays?
It was nice. It was peaceful. I didn't
Okay.
do any ripping, running, driving, none of it. I was able to stay
Mm.
home with G and the kids. We chilled out, had a wonderful Christmas, had a wonderful, excellent New Year. We brought the new year in beautiful, the
Okay.
way I like to, and we're good.
That's good. I was hyped because my team went going to the semifinals in college football, University of
Oh,
Miami. So I
okay,
was like,
college
okay,
football.
okay, yeah, yeah, okay,
Okay,
okay. So before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. Our mission statement. Our mission statement here on He Said, She Said is to empower you to discover your true self through diverse perspectives of
yes,
various topics. Meaning, in other words, we help you find yourself by giving you different ways to look at things.
yes,
Yep. So,
absolutely.
and as we're speaking about different ways to look at things, tonight is going to be heavy but needed conversation because we
Right,
people tend to not talk about this topic. They try to hush hush. It's almost like the boogeyman.
yes,
Everybody knows about it, but they don't want to talk about it. So before we get started, I want to say, like, if you feel triggered, or if this conversation gets too deep, it's okay. We understand. You might
yes,
have to step away and come back. We totally
yes,
understand.
yes. Always protect yourself when these type of conversations come up. If you need to walk away, it's fine. If you need to cry, it's fine.
Yep.
We might see some crying on here, and it's fine. But we thank you for joining us. So let me welcome to the stage. First of all, Miss Kandy Parker.
Coming
She
to the
is from
stage.
Sassy Moms. She is doing all the community work in these streets, and she's grieving at the same time. She's one of the most beautiful people I know. I don't even understand how she gets done, what she gets done, but she rocks and rolls, and she let them tears flow. And if you follow her over on her page, she will empower you through your grief as well. So welcome, Miss Kandy Parker.
Hola, how are you, lady?
Hello, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Good.
being here. And so next
Good.
I will welcome Mr. G. Lockwood. This is my man, my wonderful, wonderful boyfriend, also going through his form of grief, but someone who walked me through my grief
Mm.
after my experience that I will share later. So, Mr. G. Lockwood, welcome to the
Well,
stage.
thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Happy New
being
Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you too.
yes. So, we'll ask y'all first. How was your holiday, Candy?
Oh, mine was fine. I was resting peacefully, didn't do a lot,
Hmm.
just enjoy the quietness.
Nice, because you don't have tiny babies anymore.
No, I have young adults, so
Yeah.
it's like they're not even in the same city as I am. So it's like, hey, mom, how you doing? You get your gift after Christmas.
We got you.
That's funny.
I love it.
That's funny.
Okay, what about you, G? Although I was kind of with you, how was your
Yeah,
holiday?
everything was good. It's good. Blessed.
Yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's
yeah.
what's up.
So, DA, how we want to get this thing flowing today? We want
Let,
to share
let's
some
go.
stories. Why
Yeah,
we here?
Okay, let's go ahead and ask the hard question up front to
Mhm.
kind of break the ice. So, and whoever wants to go first, you can go first. Talk about uh, your loss,
Mhm.
like the story, how it happened, whatever, and how it has impacted you at that time.
Well, I guess I could go first.
Okay.
Um, my son transitioned May 25th of 2023. I could say that was the day that my life has truly changed. Um, 3 months before that, I lost my best friend on Valentine's Day from a heart attack, and she just was 51 years old. I took that extremely hard, and just thinking about it now, I think it kind of prepared me a little bit for the death of my son. When I received that phone call, something in my heart immediately told me it was something wrong.
Mm.
And I was kind of like preparing myself to hear the unthinkable. At that moment, my daughter had just came home. Like you said before, I'm very active, and I was about to go to a NAMI meeting, and I was preparing for that, and I got the phone call. But just before that phone call, I was thinking about him,
Mhm.
and the phone rang 5 minutes later with his name on the caller ID,
Mm.
and I answered, "Hey, boy, how you doing?" And it wasn't him, and it was one of his friends, and I stopped his friend, and I was like, "Where's Michael?" And he couldn't answer me right away, and I said, "Don't tell me." I gave the phone to my daughter. I said, "I think somebody on this phone about to tell me something bad about Michael." And she started, "What you talking about? What you talking about?" And she took the phone, and from her outpour or her scream, it confirmed what I thought he was calling to tell me. Um, Once I got on the phone, I couldn't really even talk to him, figure out what was going. I can hear screaming in the background. Um, and I just couldn't believe it. Um, I'm a very transparent person. So if I cuss, please forgive me. That's
Mhm.
just who I am. The coroner got on the phone, and he was like, "Ma'am, if you was, because my son did transition in another state, he was like, if you was here, I would came to your home to tell you that your son is deceased." And I just said, "You are fucking lying." And he said, "No, ma'am, I'm sorry." And I said again, I said, "You are fucking lying." And I was like, "What happened?" And they proceeded to tell me that my son drowned in a lake, and that he wasn't able to be rescued right away. But the rescue team quickly got him out the water. Um, from that moment, I guess it really was like I don't know for y'all, if you know, I just became numb. I just became numb, but I instantly started thinking about other people, and I immediately, had my daughter call her dad, call my mom, and I thought about his best friends for some reason, and I called each of those mothers first because I didn't want them to see it on the internet.
Mhm.
And so I was like, get in touch with your kids, let them know what happened. Um, I don't want them to see this on the internet. And I just instantly start caring for everybody.
Mhm.
I just started wanting to make sure everybody knew. I wanted to make sure, you know, just put it out there. I really didn't have no response to talk to nobody. No, how everybody, what happened? What happened? I couldn't even answer that because I really didn't have the whole story for myself. And then I remember the coroner asking me, do I want to give the children he was with, the other kids he was with, his things? And I said yes, thinking that they would call me back or let me know what happened to my child. Well, that never happened. And I had to piece everything together, not knowing what happened. Um, Honestly, to the day, I can't really tell y'all what happened. I didn't know none of the kids he was with that he drowned with. That's scary and within itself. Trying to piece who all was there. I didn't know who was there, what happened, who to contact to find out more. My son had a best friend who was with him. My son transitioned in the state of Kentucky. I called him, get no answers from him. So it was really like mind boggling to hear that your son is, your child is gone. Um, from there, it just seemed like my life has been on a roller coaster, up and down. Um, it's going on 3 years in May. I still cry. I probably cry now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it still hurts to even think that he's not here. Um, a lot of people think it's just holidays. It's not just holidays. I
Yeah,
think about my baby all the time.
yeah,
I miss my baby all the time.
yeah.
Um, and it's just been hard. I don't wish this pain on nobody. I don't wish it on, I don't compare my pain or grief to any other person's grief or pain. It's personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I deal with, I'm in the process of doing this. I'm in the first year. They always say, you have people say the first year is your first year. It's the hardest year. No, it's not. And they say the second year is your hardest year. It was harder the second year. Um, this Christmas was hard for us. And it's still hard, especially when you have other children.
Right.
Um, Being parenting to children who lost their loved one as well.
Yeah.
Our grief is different.
Yeah.
Um,
Kandy, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want you to share that in a minute about the aftermath of it.
okay.
But can I say this? This is the first time I heard the story of what happened to him.
Oh, really?
This is the
Yeah.
first time I've heard the story of what happened to him. And
Yeah.
as always, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want
And,
to.
it touches us differently because
Mhm.
Michael was the best swimmer in the family.
Wow.
And so when we hear it,
Yeah.
so much emotions was anger and not understanding, like, what you mean? He knew how to
Right.
swim. How
Right.
could this happen to him? Why couldn't he be saved? And when you see that other children got out the water and he didn't, that
Mhm.
hits differently as well.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Here when I
So
see you, the way I'm gonna hold you.
yeah. So
Mhm.
just those thoughts of that visual
Yeah.
haunts me a lot. Yeah.
Mm.
Did you want to say anything, DA?
Is I'm honestly speechless because I empathize but I couldn't. You are a very strong woman. I couldn't deal.
Thank
I could not because I know how I am. Uh, everybody would have been floating in that water for me. I'm just telling you personally.
you.
Everybody would have been. Yeah, y'all not coming out there.
Yeah.
So I
It's
really
it's
don't.
it's
Her being
it's
so
funny
far
that
away
you
was yeah.
it's funny you said that because one of his friends, with Michael, I raised Michael. He went to high school. He excelled. He was a top wrestler, and he had a lot of friends, and so he had a lot of friends in Atlanta. But within the 5 years, when he went off to college, he went to Kentucky. He gained a lot of other friends, a lot of people I didn't know.
Mm,
Another life that I cringe to know right about now.
right.
But one of his friends said that. He said that, I would have died with Michael. I would have drowned with Michael. I would have, I wouldn't have left Michael.
Yeah.
And, part of me feels, you question how much did it help my child?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Especially when we hear different stories. a bystander from on Facebook reached out to me and witnessed it. And, I got to hear her side of the story from her perspective of what she saw happen. And I had the children's, the young adults side of the story. And that's not something that I want to hear them say, no, I didn't want, I wouldn't want you to die too. If you couldn't save Michael, you couldn't save Michael. One thing, it has been hard, but a part of, I know you said we would talk about the aftermath, but I really do want to ask the young fella, what did my son say last? And I haven't been able to do that. I haven't been able to visit the location yet. It's always something that we talked about doing, but I haven't been able to go there physically yet. I'm still afraid of water. When I see a big bed of water, my thoughts wander. But I went to the beach this past summer for the first time. Threw some roses out there, and it wasn't bad, but it is a lot to intake when you don't have all the answers.
Water, tea, lemonade. I'm sorry for the loss of your mother, and anybody else who's here listening in. We're sorry for your loss. Please, yes, continue entering into the comments, entering into the chat. We appreciate your participation. And Kandy, thank you. And we would definitely be coming back to you to hear more. Yeah. So G, are you ready to share your story?
Yes, I am. My son died July 26th, 2025. I just saw him in Virginia in June. My son died of an overdose. Let me say that first. So when I seen him in Virginia in June, he was getting hot. So we hugged, and then the last thing, he started cramping up in the car. He's going back to Maryland because he's from Maryland. He started cramping up in the car, and I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know he just got high. You coming down up the high, your body tense up. So the last thing I saw from him that day, he's waved out the window. Came back to Atlanta, told Sheronda, this is going to be the last day I see my son.
Take your time.
So that morning of July 26th, his mother calls me, screaming, Xavier died. Xavier died. I said, how you know? He said, I got a phone call. I'm on my way there now. I said, all right, call me back when you get there. And it was confirmed he died in the house, overdose on the girl floor. And that day was rough. Rough. You get all the phone calls. People asking how you doing. Like, what you mean how I'm doing? What you mean how I'm doing? You heard the news just like I heard the news. Excuse me. So I get there to the I get down to Maryland. We make funeral arrangements and all that. And all I kept saying, I want to see the body. I have to see my son's body before anything. Before anybody else sees him besides his mother and his sister, I need to see the body. So finally we get to the funeral home, I get to see his body. So everybody else is sitting in the car. I walked in the funeral home to see his body. I swear to God, I almost passed out. To see him laying there, I almost passed out. Finally, I get the chance, the courage up to walk to his body and talk to him. My brother walks in. Brother hug. I kept pacing around the funeral home, looking at his body, pacing. Maybe about 50 times. Till it all got my sister. And I was finally to breathe and relax. And walked out the funeral home, I'm still destroyed. Christmas hard. Holidays is hard. Every day is hard. I still look at his obituary to this day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And I think G has the freshest one of all of us, the freshest experience with such a close loss.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
good talking about it though. Kind of ease the pain a little bit. Damn.
Thank you.
I know it wasn't easy.
Mm-mm.
And as a man to man,
Appreciate that.
And that's the thing about grief, learning that I'm going through. I was alone. I wasn't dating anybody. It was just I was by myself. And to hear my heart go out to you as well. I never really have talked to a man who lost a child either. I've met a couple guys through dating who has lost a child, and they grieve totally different than me. And so just to hear your side, hear what you went through, like I said, my heart go out to you.
Thank you.
And it does hit differently.
Mm-hmm.
It hit different.
Because as you know, men and women are different, so we tend to grieve differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing I realized, and G kind of hit on it, and I realized, and I didn't at the same time, is at times it's hard for men because when things happen, they expect the man to stand up and go handle the business.
Well, I'm emotional wreck. I wear my emotions on my arm.
Right. But for
That's
the
one thing I
women,
do. If I gotta cry, I'm crying.
right. But people expect you like, all right, you're still gonna do it. For the women, everybody tends to surround and comfort.
I don't care who around.
Right.
Well, I'm not sure they did that.
I'm being honest.
That was true, DA, to tell you the truth.
I'm being honest. I'll cry in front of anybody.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good.
And that's very good. That is very good.
Yeah.
My ex husband, my son's father, has been hospitalized over 10 times since Michael has deceased. He just got out of the hospital a couple of days ago. I'm constantly asking my kids, check on your dad.
Is he processing?
I think it hasn't really, the grief, he still got bad habits that you could tell the grief is taking over.
Yeah.
He just been having like panic attacks. He drive trucks. He's gonna have to get out the trucks. Just anxiety attacks, a lot of heart problems. And so a person has said to me one time, Kandy, I'm surprised you're still here. And my kids has said it to me as well. Mom, we is so surprised how well you're doing compared to dad. And it seemed like the roles would have been reversed, but I would have been more in the hospital. And I've had we'll talk about it. I have had my health issues. I'm dealing with the grief. But I haven't been hospitalized like he has, and so it wakes up my children's eyes. We got to take care of our parents. we need to look after them a little bit more. I try to encourage them, check on your dad. He needs you. We need you. But then at the same time, we have to be there for them.
Yep.
And that's hard. Parenting, still parenting after you lost a child is very difficult.
Still goes on.
Yeah. G, did you want to share anything else before we move on to DA so he can share his story?
No, you go ahead. I'm good right now.
Okay.
Well, I just lost my father in October, and it's kind of weird because our relationship was like I knew him, but I didn't know him. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of weird. It bothers me sometimes because I still have questions about our relationship that's not answered. But for me, the grieving part was different because I was more annoyed than anything. Because I still had questions. Two, I didn't know how to feel, which is not for me is hard because I'm normally the empath. I'm normally like, as you can see, I'm tearing up listening to y'all story. You know what I'm saying? So I'm normally the one that can express my feelings, but at this time I couldn't. Like, for example, when my grandfather passed, man, I was fucked for like months. Like literally, like I went back to work. They was talking to me, and it sounded like that Charlie Brown show. Wah 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 wah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So, but when he passed, it was just like, okay, I got to deal with it. And I'm thinking now that we're talking about it, is because I knew I prepared myself for it because he's been sick for a while. So I was like, okay, time is kind of short, but it's still like I said, it bothers me. But the thing I was just actually I wanted to talk to you about it. Like recently, he's been in my dreams, and that was gonna be the question I was gonna ask you guys. Like after that, have they after the situation after them passing transitioning, have they visited you? I can't even talk today. Visited you in your dreams?
Maybe twice for me.
It's been twice. One as a child, as a baby, and one as I remembered him when he left. But yeah, I go to bed praying that he comes to me.
Yeah.
That's something I want.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen like that. I just wish it doesn't happen. I don't know how that works. I always, the same question I ask that question to other people too. Did he come visit you? And I wish he'd come more often.
I think I visit my son a different way though, because I be sitting in my backyard. There's a bird. Just keep flying. I'm still on the tree, sit there, don't move, and just look. Are you talking to me? You gotta tell me something. Get off the porch or something. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying? But we sit there and I sit there and look at him all day. I stare at him until he fly away. And then he might come back. Like, oh man, he's still around. I ain't seen him in a minute though. I ain't seen him about a couple of months since then. But it's winter time, so
yeah. And DA, please forgive me. You are the most recent loss. Please forgive me.
It's fine.
That was most recent. We took a pause from the show for a little while because grief need to go through what it need to go through, right?
Well, yep. Now it's your turn.
It's my turn.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm coming up on 4 years when I lost my husband to COVID. I was one of the COVID losses. What hurt? I don't know. I'm about to say what hurt the most, but golly, can you pick one thing? One of the many things that hurt was he had just gotten a kidney transplant the year before. And he'd always said that he wasn't going to do it. He always said he wasn't getting a kidney transplant. He had been on dialysis for 25 years. He started dialysis as a 25-year-old child. And so he tried it one time that first year, because when they're that young, they give him a kidney real quick because you're young. They want you to have a quality of life. It rejected. When they put it in, they twisted his intestines and all kind of problems, infections, all kind of problems happened. So when we talked about getting married, he said to me, "I'm just letting you know, though, I'm never going to get a transplant. I'm not doing it because I had a bad experience. He had these big cuts that had healed, but they had to do emergency surgery so quick on him. He's like, I'm not doing it." I was like, okay. And we went through our years. Well, I had gotten pregnant. Now, mind you, ain't nobody on dialysis supposed to be shooting no full missiles. The missiles are supposed to be empty at that point, And we managed to have a child. And that's what made him come to me and say, I want to do it. I want to have a kidney transplant. I want to live for this child. So that January of 2021, they told us that because he had so many blood transfusions, that they would never find him a kidney. Because once you have a lot of blood transfusions, your DNA mixes so many times with people that you can't find a clear match for a transplant, for anything, a heart, liver, anything. And they told us it's going to be a needle in a haystack, but we'll put him on the list. It was a few months later, and it was like, we have a match. It's not perfect, but it's really close. Took him, did it, went through the surgery, went through the healing process. We did so good during COVID. We did not go out. We wore our mask. When we did things as a family, as outdoor activities, we were so careful. And then my aunt died December of 2021. And we went to the funeral. What do people do at funerals? Hug. I didn't even go to, what's the after thing for the funeral? The repast. Because I didn't want him to get, I knew his immune system is compromised a little bit from having this transplant. We didn't even go. But a few family members came to my house. Nobody was coughing or anything. So it was between the hugs at the funeral and a couple people coming to the house. And after everybody left, we started hearing everybody, oh, I got COVID. Oh, I got COVID. Oh, I got COVID. And eventually he started coughing real bad. But he was being a stubborn man. And I'd be like, you got to go to the doctor. They have the meds for you. They have the meds for you. You can take the meds because you had a transplant and it'll help fix it. He wouldn't. He did not go till the year of the anniversary of the end of January of his transplant, because they do that yearly physical and all that stuff. And he went to the hospital and they said, go to the emergency room. They just listened to his lungs for his appointment because it was in Piedmont. They listened to his lungs and they said, go to the emergency room. We're not seeing you. And so he was there for about 4 or 5 days, raised hell with them because that's just kind of, he was a hell raiser. And so they let him home, but he came home on oxygen. He was moving around fine. But one day I was just like, I had an oximeter where you check the oxygen, on the fingertip. So I put it on him because something just didn't feel right. And that thing said 64%. Most of us range from 97 to 100% with oxygen level. At 64%, your organs are not getting enough oxygen. I was like, sir, you've got to get out of here. I'm calling 911. You've got to leave. You will die in this house. You've got to go. And so I called, the kids were here. I went outside in the back and called 911. Why is 2 houses away from me? There's a house right here. The next house was blazing on fire. On fire. So I'm on the phone with 911, trying to get somebody to him. But clearly 911 is right there too, right? When the ambulance came, they blocked off all ends of the street so nobody could drive through here. They had to park on the end and walk the stretcher down to my house to get him. These motherfuckers didn't want to believe me about my oxygen thing. I worked in medical field for 14, but anyway, they checked it. It was still what I said, what mine said. Took him to the hospital. When you leave the hospital and started back over, it's like starting from fresh. So they had to quarantine him. I think it was 14 days again. So I couldn't go to the hospital and see him. And they finally let me in. First words that came out of his mouth was, I took you for granted. I never appreciated you as much as like, sir, I don't want to talk about that, right? Let's not talk about that. I want you to get better. And then it just was this up and down. 1 minute it looked like he was getting better, next minute it went down. It looked like he was getting better. And then on March the 2nd, well, it was March the 1st, actually. I got a phone call about 9 o'clock at night. And they said, you got to get up here. You got to come. We don't think he's going to last much longer. And so I called one of my friends because the boys were here. And so she came, her and her husband came. Her husband stayed here and she drove me to the hospital. And when things are that surreal, it's almost like you don't even remember being driven somewhere. You don't remember anything that happens in between that space. And we got there and every machine in his room was going off. I had been going every day after quarantine. So he got a quarantine about the early February. And so here we were at the top of March. And I was going to the hospital, going to see him. Heartbroken, but believing. Heartbroken, but believing. Now I get up here and all these machines are going off.
Mm-hmm.
So his mom met us up there and a couple other family members, and they prayed. We prayed over him, just prayed a storm over him, just praying that God did something overnight. So we left that night, and they came back the next day, March the 2nd. And the doctor came to me. And you know it's serious when the doctor comes, you're sitting in a chair and he squats lower than you. Because they're trying to lower themselves because they're about to tell you something that's... You're going to have to make a decision, Mrs. Barksdale. You're going to have to make a decision. And because, like I said, I worked in the medical field so long, I understood what was going on. I understood that if I resuscitated him, he wasn't going to stay alive because there's no oxygen going into his lungs. COVID had taken over. So what am I doing a resuscitation for? To break my husband's ribs? To keep him going for another 30 seconds to a minute? What am I doing this for? I mean, it was me and his mother there. And she was like, you got to make the ultimate decision. I said, don't resuscitate him. And so they took all the machines off of him except for the heart monitor. Because that's how they declared death. And so we stood there. I'm bawling and crying and speaking it to him. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I cannot believe you're going from me. I miss you. I love you. I just remember saying a lot of stuff. But I'm also watching. I'm looking at the heart monitor because you're watching the heart go down. And I'm looking over at the doctor because he's standing in this little window. He's not in the room with us, but he's standing in this little window looking in. And then I'm looking back at my husband. And I'm looking at it's just like I couldn't stop, but I'm still talking. In the moment that hit 0, a tear rolled out his eye. The moment his heart stopped, a tear rolled out his eye. And his mother reached over and kind of wiped it. And I was in shock. I don't tend to respond to stuff the way people think I should, I guess. I'm not a screamer, hollerer. I tend to get silent because I'm stunned. It's just unreal that you just watch this situation happen. And so my children were 2 years old and 9 years old at the time, and I became a widow on March the 2nd, 2022. And that's my grief story. That's what happened. Yeah.
That's wild because my best friend died of COVID. And it's almost like the story you told is kind of like what his wife now, well, his widow Naomi told me. Because I was in Korea and I found out on Facebook because one of my friends hit me up and they was like, "Hey, you all right? I'm sorry for your loss and everything." And I'm like, first of all, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, so I thought I was dreaming. So yeah, and they told me, and I was just like, "What?" And then I looked on Facebook, and I was just like, "Oh hell no!" And then first I called her, and she told me. But it
Thank you, Trend. I love you. Thank you, girl.
It's eerily similar.
Yeah, COVID was a difficult one, but what I've come to learn, just sharing grief with people in general, it still hurt. It's the thing that you have to learn to live with, right? That's why I wanted us to do the show. That's why me and DA wanted to talk about this. It's crazy because when we reconnected after, I think right before the New Year came in, and we both were thinking the same thing. We needed to have this conversation.
Because it's like everybody talks about the initial.
Yes.
The initial when it happened, and then a few months after that, then it go. I don't like to use the term, but it goes silent, and now you're left to deal with what's going on. And the cold part of the world is once that hit, everybody expects you to be the same.
Yes. Ooh.
And they don't take into the consideration that a piece of you is missing. So you're not gonna be the same. It's like the analogy I use talking to my sister because we talk about it all the time. It's like you have a puzzle of your life. You just take a piece away. That puzzle, you still got the same life, but it's a piece missing.
And no
Now you
pieces.
starting, yeah, you seeing things differently. So I do have a question though. So like what as you went through the process, as you still going through the process, what's the most challenging part of the process of grieving? You can talk about it when it first happened, or you could talk about it and you could talk about it now.
Go ahead, Gene.
For me, it's not hearing his voice. Just the phone call, pops, what up? That's all. That's the hard part.
Mm.
Pops, I need $10. Pops, I need $20. Now I wish I had the 20 to give you now. I got the 20, I want to give it to you. But I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's the most his voice. I'm gonna say his voice for me.
Go ahead, Kandy.
I think one of the, it's a couple of things. I reflect on this a lot. My son also was an artist, and he was a designer, and he was at the peak of his career where he was about to jump off. Part of me wished I supported him a lot more than what I did. I'm grateful because he was a blogger, content influencer. So I have a lot of YouTube videos, pictures of him. I'm forever grateful. I'm forever posting his memories. But then another part, like you said, I was angry as well for a long time after he passed away. But I wasn't angry at the grief and what was going on. I was angry at other little things that were happening and people in my life, expectations, the unintentional hurt that I was experiencing from people. Like you said, people leave you afterwards, and some people who I thought would still be around wasn't there. I was expecting everybody to come. I expect everybody to still be there, but certain ones you hold accountable that I was expecting to be there a little bit more during my process. Like I told you, that first year, I really went through it by myself. Um, my children wasn't much around because they grieving differently from me. They didn't want to talk about him. I wanted to talk about him. I'm sitting there watching his videos over and over, over and over. Like Mr. Lockwood said, like, I want to hear his voice. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear you talking to me. I want to listen to every song and see what I missed. What happened? Why didn't I pick up on this? Was something going on? Did you drown on purpose? Did you know this? You know what I'm saying? It's so many different things. And for me, as a woman, I have not been held for somebody to allow me to cry in their arms yet. And I know that may sound crazy, but it does matter.
Yes, it does.
And I haven't been able to experience that genuinely from anyone yet. And sometimes I curl up in the bed with the pillow, wishing I had somebody to hold me, wishing somebody I can just cry and scream to, wishing I wasn't have to be so strong for everybody else, and nobody be there for me. And I think being alone builds up this resilience of what I realized that I'm capable of living through. Everybody say you have to move on. No, I don't believe on it. I'm living with this every day. I'm living with having to learn how to grieve differently every day. I do believe grief is a choice.
Mm.
I choose to wake up not to grieve. I choose to um, find ways to keep myself, like you say, you watch that bird. It's a butterfly that always come around for us, and there's just a symbol of us with my children. It was butterflies, and Michael had a big tattoo on his stomach, on his chest, of a butterfly. And so when I think of butterflies, I'm always thinking, here Michael go again, Michael go again. And so it's so much I have to find, and I'm still working on that to keep my mind occupied. Because I tell you, some days I wake up and I'm like, I cannot believe this boy is not here.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot, and I still don't. I still
Right.
don't believe my child is not here, and I have to fake myself. You remember we was in the class and we was talking about the brain reverse, how you got to reverse your brain, and I have to do that sometimes. Michael's away to college. Michael is away to a concert. Michael is going to come back. He's going to those. And when you have multiple children and you lose one, I had three, so I'm missing my three pack. He was the middle child. He was the child who called me the most, who wanted to talk the most. He was the child who was the gift giver. He was the one, I love you, mom. The one who would call me about anything and want my advice. And when you have your other children who don't do that, that hits differently.
I bet.
When you have the other children who don't call you like the other one called you, where you have the what they don't give the love like that one do, that's when your heart start really like having to seek a way to fulfill. And I haven't quite found ways to always fulfill it. I stay busy, like Sheronda was saying. I stay busy with my job, with my organization, and I just have to keep going. Every day I walk a different beat every day. I don't walk the same beat anymore. It's like I had to change up how I love. I had to change how I look at people. I had to change, the small things don't matter anymore. Things that really where I was just before he died, I was going through a little hardship. I had already set my 6-month goals of what I was going to do because it was the beginning of the year. And then this happened. I'll mention this is that Michael went off to college in 2018 when he graduated, and he never came back home. He always stayed. He went to college, got a scholarship for wrestling, and he stayed in Kentucky. In 2022, he fell on some hard times. He was a child who had his own apartment, car, was able to really achieve a lot of things as the young adult. And he fell on some hard times, and he asked, could he come back home? And it was right after COVID, because I was a first responder. I did COVID testing and did all kinds of jobs, and things were wandering down where those contracts were ending, and some things, I fell into some hard times. And then he asked, I was living with my mom, but I was able to get my own place. And he's like, Mom, can I come home? And I was like, yeah, I had a 2-bedroom. The other two was staying, one with the boyfriend, other one was staying with his roommates. And Michael was the first child who came home to stay with me. And that was in January of 2023. The last time I saw my child was March 22nd. He left to go back to Kentucky to do a show, and a fashion show. In May, I always do something for Mental Health Month. And I had a big event, and I thought he would be home. And the last text that I looked through the text message, he's like, Mom, I can't make it, but I'm so proud of you of everything you're doing. That 25th, my daughter's birthday, is May 20th. We did a screen FaceTime. All of us are on the phone together. And that's the first time, y'all, I never took a picture. I normally take a picture of all of us on the phone together. They hate it. But I didn't do it. May 25th, Michael died. May 30th is the oldest son's birthday.
Oh,
He was
wow.
supposed to come home that weekend and do a show, and he was going to surprise me.
Oh.
I didn't read our chat that day to know that he was coming home, which I feel guilty sometimes that I didn't even open up that we have a chat with my children, and I didn't see that, no clue that he was coming home.
Mm.
So that week is a lot
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even like celebrating their birthdays because of this. But that middle child had to do something in the middle of everything.
In the middle of everything.
So it's always a constant reminder. And now I'm to the point where trying to create memories or trying to create a space for them to feel okay. You know, they look like, I like being around people. I have to be around people around. His birthday's in December. He transitioned in May. And I have to be around people, y'all, or it hit me. It'll never hit me on the day of. It hit me the day after or 2 days later that I'm feeling a certain type of way. But for me, I have to be surrounded by love. I have to be surrounded by people just to keep me not thinking that my child is not here.
Yeah.
So it's a process for me, just coming out. It's like realization just hits you, like things you should have been doing, things you should have been, you know, we talk about, you know, life insurance, we talk about, and I had all these things and all the difficult things that went wrong during the funeral arrangements, the things, how you live afterwards, you know. And now I just be a voice to tell people that, you know, you got to be prepared. I was not prepared. I tell everybody I lost everything except my mind. Exactly. And I literally mean that. I lost my place. I lost my car. I lost everything. And it's like God has given me a chance to rebuild again.
Yeah.
But at my age, I'm 48 years old, to have to lose everything and have to start over is just reality, my reality.
And that's what I was going to say. My hardest thing with VA was recognizing I had a new reality. It took, I'm going to put this out there. G came into my, I knew G 20 years ago. Me and G met, we worked together 20 years ago. And we were really close, and he knew my husband. But my husband wasn't my husband at the time, but my husband was one of our patients because we all worked in dialysis. So he knew who he was. And so for some reason, after my husband died, I wanted to tell G. I wanted to let him know because he knew my husband. And so G was MIA. G had exited social media. He was nowhere to be found. And I was like, that's so weird. So of course my paranoia is, did he die of COVID too? I'm up here Googling, you know, his name and stuff, looking for Gerald Lockwood, trying to see if he was okay. And so 3 months later, on my birthday, G shows up on IG. I post a picture of myself just saying happy birthday to me. I was celebrating myself that weekend because my heart was so broken. But I was like, I got to do something. Like what, Kandy, what you say? I choose me. I had to choose me that weekend, right? And so I chose myself that weekend. I dressed up, booked at this beautiful resort that's in Stone Mountain, and got me a room, whatever. And I stayed there that night. And early that morning, I happened to wake up. I went down to the bar. Y'all couldn't tell me I wasn't the shiznit. Okay, I look so cute at the bar drinking my little drink. Okay. And so I got back to my room, went to sleep, just happened to wake up 2:00 in the morning. And on my post, he wrote, "Happy birthday, Queen." I went straight to his inbox. It was only a few minutes after he posted it, and I happened to wake up. And I was like, "Hi, are you okay? You know, how you doing? Cal died," or whatever. And he was like, oh man. But mind you, the last 20 years that I hadn't seen G, like I said, 20 years, he was supposed to be living in Maryland. All of a sudden he says, I'm living in Warner Robins, Georgia. Excuse me, sir, come see me. Come see me. And it almost felt like a packaged gift. It's almost like God sent this gift that I needed at that very moment, just to be there with me while I was grieving, just to go through that process with me. So when I look back, even during that time, even though G came and was a pillar of strength in my misery, I was still miserable because what the fuck happened? Where's the life I just built? I just fought with my husband for 14 years, and the last 3 were the best years of our life. Where's my husband? I had just built my business, was making money hand over fist. Where's my money? Where's the life that I fought hard for? Nothing has ever come to me easy, ever. And I finally fought hard enough for stuff to feel good, where I could do what I wanted to do and what I needed to do. It was a life. And like Kandy said, it was gone. When you're married and you have created a household and then half of your income disappears, Kandy, I think I might have lost my mind a couple of times. You was like, I lost everything but my mind. I don't know. There's a couple of times I know I got back on anxiety medication. I had to. I was having the worst panic attacks of my life during that time. And G was staying right there. Like he was talking about, we have a screened-in patio on the back. That's just our space. And he would grab me and hold me until I had to sob. Like, let it out. Let it out. Here's this person telling me let it out. And I thank God for him to this day, because I don't know too many men who could stand there and let a woman sob over their late husband.
That's a blessing.
It is a blessing. I will forever be grateful. I don't take that for granted at all when it comes to him. And I pray to be the same for him. I was there when he got the phone call. I was right there. Yeah. And the will that came from him and his ex's bodies was just, I still hear it.
Yeah.
I still hear it. Those are the sounds you don't forget.
Yeah, you don't forget that.
Mm-mm. And to this day, I'm going to do the same thing he did for me, but we got to do it together. Sometimes it's us grieving and wailing and crying together.
That was New Year's.
That was New Year's.
Yeah.
So since we talked, Kandy kind of hit on it a little bit. I'm curious, and this is a twofold question. One, just information, and two, because I know it's gonna hit me later. How do you respond to like the intrusive thoughts when it comes to dealing with grief and grieving your loved one?
For example,
like, so you know how they got the 12 stages of grief. Like when you get angry, when you get upset, when you get and like just want to hear his voice and get frustrated because you can't. How do you deal with that? What are some ways to deal with it? I should ask.
Well, to put it out there, I am a spiritual person, but I did not go to God for everything because I was angry at God, and still have my moments. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know how to talk a little better to him. They say you shouldn't say why me, but I did. I didn't care. I want to know why me. I have a past of some mental health challenges I had in the past. I've had suicidal attempts. And then one thing I did say was, at all those times I tried to take my life, why would you take my child and not me? And that bothers me. Now, one thing I can say is that Sheronda was saying, she said she got anxiety medicine. My stupid behind sat there and didn't want to take nothing. And I didn't even think. I just sat there and went through the bad boy. But every angel mama I talked to, or somebody like, I went to the doctor and got me something. Fast. But I was so numb to the fact that part of me said, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna have a story at the end of this. I'm not tell you no lie. I was like, I got a testimony because anybody who knew me in the past knew I was up and down with my challenges of my mental health. And sometimes, you know, in that field, everybody look at you differently anyway. And so when they think of you, say you got a mental health diagnosis, they think, well, you immediately you crazy or you got some things. No, I had some challenges that I had to deal with that I didn't understand and what I was going through. So luckily for me, I'm in the mental health field and behavioral health, and I'm really into behaviors and understanding myself, that I build a community of people who, like Sheronda, who was my life coach, and different people who I could fall on that I was able to get. Therapy didn't work for me. Therapy didn't work for me, and I'm not opposed or against therapy because I work with a bunch of therapists, but it wasn't what I needed at the moment. None of them, I can talk to them like I knew what they were going to ask me next. That type of stuff. That type of therapy wasn't for me. And then that's when I realized my mom was open to there's different pathways to recovery. And that's when I realized that sitting with someone wasn't the way it was going to help me. That what I needed is more somatic therapy, more this group therapy, like this. And even though they had this 12 steps, what they call them, I know they got the, you know, I you said 12, but I know 5 for sure, and that was the guilt. I like, where them other 6 come from? But I know about the 5. But if it's more, but you know what?
You an AA girl with it. AA.
But it's that wheel don't stop. Because one day you could feel angry, one day you could feel denial, one day you could feel you can accept it, understanding, bargaining with yourself. I went through it all. And I still go through those things in different spurts and times of the day. And it's just like a hamster in the wheel where he just constantly going. And that's sometimes your brain. My mind is overstimulated with so many things in the beginning, where you want the questions, you want the answers, you want to know. I latched out on so many people. I know I lost a lot of friends because I was really to the point where the first thing somebody wanted to say to me is, it was God's plan.
Oh, child.
Oh, he's in a better place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got your child.
Yeah. So don't come to me.
You can't. And so that's when I had to understand that unintentional hurt that I had to go through.
Yeah.
That unintentionally people are unaware of what to say and how to comfort you. Yeah. And then when I can sit there and have a conversation with somebody and they tell me about something their child is going through or what they're going through, I remind them, you can grieve without a loss.
Come on.
And still be grieving.
Come on.
And then that's when I realized I was still internally grieving already before Michael passed away. It just surfaced even more when he came. My finances, my love life, everything just came at me at one time, saying like, okay, girl, you got to get your life straight. Yeah. So I just moved differently with intention. To the intentions where I had to learn that I got 2 other children to live for, that I can live with the guilt and it's okay as long as I don't stay there. Yeah. And I don't stay in the guilt or the funk. I try not to. And if I do, I know I have my lifeline that I can reach out to. Sheronda is one of them, you know. It used to be, I used to send out a text saying, the day's not a good day. But then I had to learn that I had to self-heal myself as well. Yeah. And self-healing does matter. You can't expect everybody else. As much as I want that hug and I want to cry, I had to learn how to get out this situation on my own. And I'm proud of myself because I think God has put me in a position where I haven't been committedly in a relationship or anything to
Mm-hmm.
realize, Kandy, you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because even before my best friend, when she died, she was my lifeline, y'all.
Yeah.
She was my lifeline. When I was going through stuff, she mentally could know how to connect with me and help me get back. So when she died and Michael died, I was like, God, no way.
Right.
There's no way you doing this. You knew this was the person who helped me through everything. Like she would be right by my side right now if she was alive. And Michael. But then exactly. And then I was like, then you took Michael away,
Mm-hmm.
the other person, my other lifeline. And so God, I guess I know he's
Say it.
stirring me. I know he's
Okay.
stirring me to be something that I should have been working on before.
I mean, what that
Unfortunately,
Candy?
I just
I think it's who you're supposed to be becoming now.
I think I'm becoming. You're right. I do feel I'm becoming who I need to, but I'm honestly gonna tell y'all it's the power behind my son.
Yeah.
Because I look at so much he has done, so many people he has touched, and I like that 23-year-old can't outdo me.
Yeah.
And I taught him all these things.
Yeah.
And I get proud to hear till this day, I still get messages from friends who say how much he encouraged them, how much he
Amazing.
was there for them. I listen to his music and I'm like, this boy, what was you thinking, girl? He was so talented. This was your meal ticket. Why did you invest in it?
Let me say this real quick, Candy. Peace,
That was my
Kim.
meal. And he used to always say, Mama, I'm gonna have you rich. I'm gonna get you a brand new house. I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna do it big.
Hold
And
on,
y'all,
Candy, for me. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Peace, Kim. Peace, everybody that's in the room. Make sure that you are clicking like, subscribe, and follow. Share, share, share. And thank you for being in the room. I want to answer Dave's question real quick about the intrusive thoughts too. And it's gonna be
yeah.
brief. It's gonna be brief. You don't fight intrusive thoughts.
Mm.
You let them in. Let them bastards run crazy. Let them bastards run crazy. Reason being is, like Candy said, she talked about it a bit. Those moments where you go off on certain people. Why am I holding this back? If you know I just lost someone that's close to me, you should know that some of this might be a little irrational. You should know. And if you don't, goodbye. You should know I'm broken. You should know my heart hurts. And the reason being, DA, when you pretend that they don't exist, they still exist. When you give them actual acknowledgement, they fade away. That's just how it happens. The more we pretend something isn't there, it sits there poking you on your shoulder like, hey, I'll be back tomorrow. You can ignore me now, but I'll be back tomorrow. That's the one thing that I learned was grace. Giving myself grace to feel however I needed to feel in any good given goddamn minute. In any minute that I needed to fall apart, in any minute that I needed to laugh, in any minute that I needed to make love, in any minute that I needed to do whatever I needed to do in those moments, I learned to just go ahead and do it. And then the grief didn't feel so heavy. Because I'm interacting with it now. Now I'm in it. Now we're participating with each other. Now I'm not trying to push you in, act like you don't exist. I had to tell it, okay, just come in then. It felt like if I let it come in, I was going to lose my mind. Like, it really feels like it's bad enough I ended up being diagnosed with a broken heart. Like, I ended up with high blood pressure. My heart literally broke and it is misshapen. Mm-hmm. That's what it did. Broke my actual heart. I have to deal with that as it is. But now I'm going to pretend like I'm not sad. I'd be weeping in the middle of Kroger, Walmart, wherever I was, weeping. People looking at me like, what is wrong with this lady? I'm not trying to run to the car so I could cry. For what? And it took me a minute to do it around everybody or anywhere. I was on Facebook acting a plumb fool. I blocked so many dang on people, I might need to go back and check and see if I did it right. I don't know. I blocked so many dang on people. I let myself feel what was needed when I finally realized fighting against it and pretending like the grief didn't exist was not worth it. It's not worth it. And G said he had a conversation. Tell him about the conversation you had with Aaron the other day about him talking about you and Zay, your processing.
Oh, I came to visit. I just came in peace with my son passing away. Like, I'm glad he don't have the demons messing with him no more.
Mm-hmm.
Out in the streets doing whatever he was doing. Because I lost my son at 25, and it's hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm only 50. He didn't even get a chance to see the other half of the life.
Mm-hmm.
He was just starting his life. So I just came in peace with it because and go through my grief as whatever day how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think I worked through it pretty well. Because I came at peace with it.
About it. Please,
yeah, I came at peace. I don't mind talking about it. That's what made me do this podcast.
Did y'all hear that?
Don't mind talking about it because it is what it is. I can't. What am I lie? What I'm lying?
I love talking about it too, G. I feel like it keeps your children spirit going.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
you said forever 25. I'm forever 23, and you're right. I'm only 48. You 50, and I don't know for you. For a minute, I'm just looking at other children that age. I get proud. I get happy when I see some of their accomplishments on Facebook. Who was along with my children, his class. You know, I'm excited. I had to get to that place because just like you say, he's not dealing with any more demons. It's crazy you say that because sometimes I just wonder, did Michael just let go? Did Michael just give up? Sometimes I can see my son, because I buried my son in this outfit he made, an all-white suit. And I could picture sometimes him just with his arms in the sky, with that white suit, with a beam of light, that beam of hollow light behind G right now, just on my child. I just see it. And that's the vision that I want to keep. That he is, that what better place to die in the water?
Yeah.
What better place? And it may sound crazy, but Sheronda, I went to Stone Mountain too. I had a conference at the resort. And I opened up the window and the lake was right there.
The lake is right there.
And I was like, holy crap. It was my first time really looking at the lake. And it was hard for me to even walk to the lake. Then we had a conference the next year. And I finally went to the lake, walked down to the lake. And it was just like a piece of me. It was like, the water, how peaceful it was going. The sun was beaming on the rays of the light. And, that brought peace to me. Yeah. Like my child, a parent came to me and her son died shortly after my son, and they went to high school together. But he had suffered stomach cancer. And she was like, Kandy, at least you didn't have to watch your child suffer. And I kind of didn't know how to take that, right. But then I get it. Yeah. I'm meeting more moms who've lost their children, who lost them through either tragedy of gun violence or through sickness. It does hit differently. And, sometimes I'm like, I don't really got a story. Yeah. When when they tell me their story, I'm like, oh, wow. Michael didn't die a painful death.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, when my son first died, even to this day, it's hard to see another man with his son, a younger son, like holding him. It's hard to see that. Especially holding him. Oh man, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Because all I can see is me doing that to my son when he was that age.
Yeah.
Or running around the supermarket, he wasn't in front of you, smiling, just happy. My son was always happy.
Yeah.
I remember my baby walked up to him after he lost his son and said, "I'm sorry you lost your son, but I'll be here for you."
Yeah, that was so touching.
He slayed us. I think we were both in there.
Oh
crying.
Wow. So I don't mind crying. Like you can tell me something.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
We about to watch TV, a good movie and cry. That's gonna happen. Yeah. But one of the questions, and I don't want to keep us too much longer, but the question that I would love to close with for each of you, and I want you to start, DA, is what did you find out through your loss that you never knew happened in grief before? A new revelation that you were like, whoa, I didn't see that coming.
Ooh, that's a shit. That's a good one. I mean, sheesh. So, I claim to be a very patient person. Like my fuse is very, 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 very long. And this, I don't know why. I don't know how. It is. This one caused my fuse to shorten, and I was like, "Where did that come from?" And I catch myself, and that's why I asked about intrusive thoughts, because sometimes I'll be sitting here, or somebody say something slick, and before I know it, bleh. And they looking at me like, "Oh my God, you didn't just say that," and I like and did. And I was said in another language if I could say it, but I wasn't like that, and so that was just like, okay, where did that come from? So yeah, that's one thing. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not the what did you just call me? Because everybody was like, they always say, you always in control of your emotions. You never show emotion. You're calm, cool, collected. And I was like, maybe I'm not.
Not so much anymore.
That's the other Libra side of you.
That's other side of the scale.
That chink in my armor now. It's starting to show. It's like, okay.
And I'm gonna throw this out there. That thing that people say, if you need anything, let me know.
You know what? You know what?
I hate that question.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna keep it 100. I stopped listening to that
a long time ago.
Yeah, when my grandfather passed, I stopped because, like, backstory for my grandfather. My grandfather, first of all, third grade education. Man could build a mansion with his hands with third grade education. So the church that he belonged to, he literally built from the ground up.
Wow.
Anytime somebody needed something, blah, 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 blah. All right. He was there for more people in that church than the minister. Okay, fast forward, he passed. That's all we heard. If you need something, just let me know. If you need something, let me know. The day we put him in the ground, that was the silentest day ever. And I'm sitting here like, I'm thinking like, okay, where's all these people that was hooping and hollering when we was celebrating his life? Now all of a sudden, my grandmother, she has to deal with this. She's reaching out to people, and I'll get back to you. And it's crickets. And after that day, I say, you know what? That's bullshit. Don't tell me that.
Right. I don't even know what the answer is supposed to be after that.
I don't even tell me
what was for you that we'll get to Kandy? What was it that you learned through this loss that you never realized even could exist with grief? What was it? You hear me, G?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have no answer for that. I'm being honest. I really don't know.
Honest, I apologize. I'm not laughing.
No,
I'm just laughing at. I just knew that was going to be his answer. He just was like, "I ain't got nothing."
One of it was him saying what I just said was, well, why are people saying, "What do I need?" How do you know? I don't even know how to answer that. I like the people who be like, Sheronda, I'm sending some meals over to the house. You know, I got kids. Mm-hmm. You know, I lost my husband. But I couldn't. When you're going through it, you can't process far enough to say these are my specific needs. I love the people who just show up and do.
And just do, right? Yeah.
That I didn't even expect that. I was just like, really? This is what we ask people?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kandy, anything for you that stood out for you that was like
One of the things that really stood out to me was the pain.
that? Oh,
I was in physical pain for almost 4 months after my son died. And when I say physical pain, when I say I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, my body was cringing. It just was so, it was so bad to like, let me tell you, my 14 years ago, my friend lost her son. And I felt so bad that I was not there for her. Like I needed people for me. And it just, that was one thing you said, the realization of grief is that when I do have someone who passed away, it's like, and they have someone loved one pass away, it's kind of like I'm prepared now. I know what you just said, like the intention, my intentions have to be real. If I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I can't. In the past going on 3 years, I have done a lot that I don't have to broadcast.
yes.
When I have run across somebody like the things, the practical things that you need that people don't realize. I didn't eat. And what's so weird is that even though, Michael, I'm not from Atlanta. So it was totally different for me because it wasn't all my family flocking to come.
Yeah.
You know, a few came in town. A lot of them had to come when the funeral.
Yeah.
So therefore, I was alone a lot. I had to call somebody to help me. I forgot about the obituary. I didn't even know how to. So things that you know how you have that crew to come and say, "Hey, we got this. We do this." I didn't have that. I had to put the obituary together, pay somebody to do this because I was expecting people to come and say, "Hey, do you need this help? Did you need this?" And it wasn't. People would say they'd DoorDash me some food or Instacart me something before they brought me a meal over. People was Instacarting me food or whatever, but I didn't want to cook it. I didn't want to eat. I have no desire. It was nobody there to monitor me, like micromanage me to say, hey, this is what you need to be doing. It may help you do this. So when I say grief by myself, I'm not exaggerating with y'all when I said grief by myself. When maybe somebody, of course, your phone going off all day. You're getting text messages all day long. But when it came down to somebody sitting by my side, no, I didn't have that. And so I don't want the next person to experience that. Even if I can start of even with Sassy Moms, something that we can do for grieving moms. Now let me tell you, my mom is good at it now. My mama can Instacart you the paper towels, the toilet paper, the dish detergent, food, everything that we don't think about. My mom is really on point with it, and she does that. But in return, I didn't receive that from others like I was thinking. Now, if I probably was home back in my hometown, that's where everybody coming by with a dish every day. They coming by to bring you the sodas. I mean, I know people who ain't had to buy no groceries for almost 3 months after they transitioned of the loved one because that's how much stuff they had left over and people were coming to give them. But unfortunately, I didn't have those things, and that makes me stronger too. And it made me realize that, girl, you her.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say.
I
I'm
say
her.
it to her all the time.
I'm her.
She is amazing.
And and everybody say you don't look like what you've been through. You're right. I don't. And I take pride in that. That's not every day. Today I had to put on some makeup and these earrings right before here because it's days I don't want to get up to do nothing. I love my job that I can work like that.
Yep.
It's some days I just can't function. And I don't know about y'all, it's just like physically and mentally trying to connect it. Like, why are you depressed? Sometimes I'm depressed and don't even realize I'm depressed.
Yeah.
And then I have to be like, oh my God, I'm depressed. Like when I want to sleep. Because I still don't sleep at night very well. I barely sleep at night. Me and Sheronda was talking about it. I'm 2 hours here. We probably can get up at 3 o'clock and we can have a full blown conversation because I'm up, you know. And it just, unfortunately, you know, we just have to, like you said, the biggest word that you said that's important is grace. And I had to tell our DA, I was the same way. I had to tell people, like, look, you got to give me some grace.
Yeah.
You know, give me some grace. Some people get mad at me because I said the wrong thing out my mouth.
Man, I ain't asking for grace. That's how I feel.
Exactly. He's like, do you know I just lost a child?
Yeah.
Did I just lose a child?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I don't know, for y'all, like certain little things people come at me with, I be like, and I hate to say it to them sometimes, I like, girl, until you lose a child, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, that can be worked on. That could be worked on, you know, and I try to break that into people's lives. Appreciate your family. Appreciate your loved ones. Appreciate you. You know, I wish I could hug them, like Mr. Lockwood said. I wish I could hear a voice every day. So we got to appreciate our loved ones that we have around us and be discerning them, but the people that God is bringing into your life. One thing about it, I am very aware what spirits don't need to be around me. And I don't know if that's Michael putting that in me. But my baby be telling me, mama, keep it moving. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Not trying to make nothing work that shit has to work. You feel me? It needs to be, everything needs to be authentic in my life right about now. Yeah. And if you can't come real, transparent, and coming with that BS, then it's not going to be working out with me. And that's man, woman, career. Sheronda, you know me. I am very clear on that. I don't even work with people that I like. What Sheronda told me, we got to be like-hearted, not like-minded.
Right.
And if we're not like-hearted, then there's nothing we can do.
There's nothing we can do. Well, before we go, DA, if you don't mind, and everyone, can we share just a quick word of wisdom, that one thing that you would like to tell someone who is struggling with life after loss?
Girl, you in my head. Get out of my head.
Nope.
Because I was literally thinking about that. Like, what? I got two, actually. One I put on my Facebook, and I hope that whoever read it helped them understand grief. And it goes, when somebody close to you dies, a part dies with you. No matter how much you try, you will not be the same. All right, we're here in a rat race of life. But the moments we spend with people close to us are what matters. So as they leave this place, these moments stop. When these moments stop, then comes the silence. Then comes the void, the emptiness. And no matter how hard you try, you can't replace that. You can only create new memories and new connections and start a new cycle until you become that missing piece. Yeah. And that was part of what I put on Facebook, because it was at a time where, like, me and my sister we would talk all the time, and I just had to sit there and think about it. Like, she actually said it. She said, I'm not gonna hear him call saying, "How about them Cowboys no more?" And she had got used to that. And so that's when I was like, people have to understand and allow folks to grieve, because their life is different now.
Yeah.
Their life is not going to be the same. And then the other one, I literally just wrote, we have to look at grief like a river. Sometimes it's going to be smooth, calm. Sometimes it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, we have to just hold on and ride the waves, because at the end, it's going to be refreshing.
Yeah.
So that's my closing.
I love it. Do you got something?
Mine is slow down.
This
is the rat race out here, and everybody's running.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to sit down and cherish things. You don't want to wait till it's gone, then cherish it, then thinking about it. what should I do? How could I should have did that? So my thing is slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath and see what's going on in life.
Yeah.
That's my closer.
Thank you, my darling. Come on, Sassy.
Mine is always like I say, I choose me. Get out your feelings and get some healing.
Come on.
Recognize what you need to do, your health, empathy, advocate for yourself. And always remember that love matters, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. And mine will be, of course, be unapologetically, authentically you. Unapologetically, authentically you. If it hurts today, let that motherfucker hurt. Let it hurt and say it. Be truthful about it. You don't have to tell nobody. Write it in a notebook. Yell it to the sky. But the more real you can deal with your own truth, how you feel, who you are on a daily basis, the more real life becomes and the easier you can navigate it because you're navigating something that's true. I can try to navigate a Maserati, but I don't have one. I don't have one.
That's my dream car. I want a truck.
Uh-oh. We just saw one of those too. But if you can navigate what you actually have, you can touch it, feel it, smell it, and it's real. And you'll get to the Maserati, sure, but can we get past this moment right here and look to the future? But let this moment be true, because I'm telling you, I don't know anybody who's been able to make it in their right mind, being able to honor their own truth. I don't know anybody. Honor the grief, babies. Do you want to close this out, my darling?
I thought I did, but I guess not.
No, you didn't. You know I close out. Don't do me.
It's been so long, I'm rusty.
Oh,
So
Lord.
yeah. So I just want everybody who's listening, I want to say, first of all, say thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing us into your home. Thank you for our lovely guests. I know it was hard, but we, and I'm saying it again, we appreciate your story.
Yes.
It's not all the time that we get an opportunity to talk to two soldiers who experience such a loss and still keep on trucking. And we really appreciate it. To the audience, you know where we are every Wednesday. We're gonna switch it up. We may do every Wednesday, every other.
Yeah.
We're still in the works on that. To my lovely host, once again, we did it.
We did it. We did it. And we'll be back.
Yes.
In a week or two. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings to everyone. Y'all have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.